What's happening, guys? Happy Sunday? No, it's Easter Monday. Getting my days mixed up. That's what happens when you have a 4-day weekend. Just been sorting out my van and thought I'd give you guys a little walkthrough of what I've been using for my breakdown servicing stuff in my Velocity Rogue 2.0. Got this bag, I think it was November. Absolutely love it so far. I'll show you what I've got in it. I'm able to do probably, I'd say, 90% of my breakdown work with it. I only need to get out extra bits if there's certain jobs which require particular tools, but most of the stuff I can literally do just what's in here. So yeah, let me give you a close-up. Right, so we'll start with the front and side pockets. In the front bumper pocket here, this is actually designed for safety goggles. However, as I don't really need safety goggles doing a majorly breakdowns, fits my utilised 500. That fits in there absolutely perfectly. This light I use every day because it helps me when I'm dealing with boiler breakdowns, especially when you work in a dark cupboard or anything like that. There's also more space if I want to fit a few other bits in there, but I haven't found anything else to put in there so far, so that's in there for now. And then on the left hand side, as you're looking at it, I've got two flatheads. So this is a 4mm flathead, and I've also got a 3mm terminal driver. So this is the wearer one, so it's got the little spinning end on it, so when you're working on wiring centers or anything like that, you can get into the really tight terminals and put some leverage in it and still be able to spin it. So these two side pockets are great for that. Also on the tape loop, I've got a bit of insulation tape, and I've got a zipper pocket on this side here. So in here I've kept basically a filling loop hose, so that fits in there nicely, and I've also got a set of picks as well. So I did have these in my main pocket, but what I found was when they were going in, the picks were getting caught on the pockets inside, and when I was trying to pull them out, there was a chance of it ripping. So I took them out of there and I've relocated them to this side, so they're not in tight pockets anymore, so they're easy to get out. So there's the proper hook in there, and see, that's getting caught in there as well. Let's try and get that out without ripping anything. There we go. Right, so those are my three picks that go in there, and also my filling loop hose. That just pushes down in there. Right, so moving on to the other side. On this newer model, they actually got rid of a tape clip. So on the older one, there was a tape clip at the bottom here and no other pockets. But on the new one, they've added 3 pockets here, which is actually a lot more useful than just having the tape clip, because now I can fit my U-gauge perfectly into there. Don't know about the Regan one, but this is a Monument one, and that fits in there absolutely spot on. In the front, I've got my Weeha bit holder. That sits there. And then on the back, obviously, where I'm going to be using my U-gauge, I've got my 10mm nut driver for gas meter nipples test points. So that lives in there. Now on this back pocket, I didn't really have anything for it before, but now U-gauge hose. And a little bit further down, I have got a, if I can get it out, Magna Clean spanner. So that goes in there along with my U-gauge hose. So that's basically everything done on the outside. Right, so that's the outside done. Let's take a look at what I've done on the inside. If I can get the zips open. They are solid zips, so they can be a little bit tough to try and get open with one hand. Right, there's the inside of it. I'll go through all of that with you guys in just a moment. Right, to start off with, in the pencil case type pocket, I've just got my odd bits. So I've got a few fibre washers in there. I've got a 15mm stop end on there, a Worcester filling key, a lock shield cap, decorator's cap, for TRV, 15mm push fit cap, just anything which you might need an emergency. A load of cable I can use as link wire. But yeah, stuff that can get you out in an emergency, just little odd bits and pieces I've just chucked in there. Now moving on to the main compartments, I haven't actually got anything in this back zip pocket other than a little tube of Gorilla Glue, which I've never actually had to use yet, but I've not really found anything to put in there. But yeah, the rest of it, so at the back, I've rearranged this from when I did my first loadout video, so this is an updated version of how I've reorganized a few bits. Got a wearer stubby bit holder there. I've got my 4mm hex T-bar on here. This is great for doing the valent isolation valves, so getting underneath the boiler, turning them off, turning them on. Also for pump valves, not pump valves, for actually changing pump heads as well. So I can use this with the extension bar, which will give me a little bit more extra torque. So that will help me when changing pump heads. Got my stubby cobras in there, and I've got a stubby adjustable spanner at the back there. So moving on to the next row, well, I've got my long, what's this, I think a 250mm Posi 2, always handy, especially for when trying to take off Worcester cases or just trying to reach screws right at the back. Valent diverter valves, for example, helps in getting those screws out for there. I've got a 10mm and 13mm open-ended and ring spanner on the other end. Got my JVAC, however you pronounce it, 4 different sizes on there. So these are good for like getting off drain offs, turning off gate valves, and things like that. I've got another wearer, bing, another bit holder there. So I'm sure you guys are seeing this. This all comes apart, so you can use this in your drill as well, and press the bottom button, and that carries a few other bits in there as well. So that's all your common bits. So I'll keep this as well, because sometimes this one's a little bit too long to get into certain areas. So this, obviously, it's already shorter than that, but then that makes it even shorter. And if I need something even shorter than that, then I've got my stubby in there as well. Right, so what I've started to do, guys, is take out everything that I'm showing you as I go along, just so that by the end of it, you get an idea of exactly how much stuff you can fit in the bag. Because although it doesn't look like a lot, once it's laid out here, it will give you a bit of a better idea. So moving back to the bag, next up are my spanners. So I got my adjustables, 6 and 8 inch. I think one of them is a Today's Tool ones, and the other one's a Monument one. They both look exactly the same to me, except one's big and one's small. Next pocket, I've got a little dentist type mirror. So this helps when you need to look at, say, burner seals or things like that, if you're looking for anything steaming up, to make sure there's nothing letting by. Also, if you need to see something in a hidden space where you can't actually look around yourself, this will get you out of trouble. So yeah. Right, next row down now. So come back here again. So this is just another flathead. Just pop that there. Got my set of Allen keys. So these are the wearer ones, but any sort of set Allen keys you can fit in there. Got the Monument 15mm nuts, 22mm nuts, double-ended spanner. This I use pretty much on a daily basis. Comes in very handy, especially when you're trying to do 3 ports. Gives you a lot of torque on it. 2 ports, 3 ports. The other end, 15mm nuts, any sort of 15mm nuts. Most 15mm nuts, sorry, will fit on. There are some that it doesn't fit around, but the majority of them, it gets you out of trouble. So yeah, that's very handy to have. Next pocket, I've just got my thermometer. So that just, when I'm testing hot water temperatures, just allows me to do that. Moving on to the next pocket. So this is a few of my electrical bits. This whole front pocket here is basically for my electrical stuff. So my volt stick, so pop that there. Got my, oh, a bit tangled in there. So my CK Tools cable cutters. My fluke, this is the T90 continuity and voltage tester. that sits in there. And in the next big pocket, I've got my 3 sets of grips. So pop them there. So I've got my 300s, 250s, and the 180s. So there you go. They match up with pretty much this one. So that's every size that I may need out of these 4. And then I've literally just added in just before I started this video, because I realized I haven't got a long nose pliers in my tool bag, and they may come in handy. I don't know how much I'll use them yet, but I thought I'd put them in there, give them a try, see how I get on. And then in these 2, there's 2 little pockets at the front, on the left and on the right as well. So on this side, I've basically got my 7 and 8mm spanners. So I know I could put them all together, but these 2 I use more than these 3. So if they're there, I can literally just reach in and pull them out. And then on the other side, I've got a little wire brush. That's for cleaning electrodes, or anything that you can use abrasive cleaner on. And I've got my little extension for Schrader valves. So this is when I need to get to expansion vessels where the connection point is in a little bit of an awkward position. So this helps me get out of trouble for those. So you can see it's already starting to get quite empty now. Last few bits, got my Barco bit set. This is a must-have for me. I use it daily. So you can see all the little bits that you get in it, and the little mini ratchet as well. This is very handy, especially when you're working on boilers, doing breakdowns, trying to get into tight spaces. So yeah, that's a staple part of my tool bag. I would not have a tool bag without that in it. Combined with, we have bit holders, wear a bit holder. So anything which is a bit holder, that will go with it. And then finally, I've got a magnetic bowl. My tape measure sits at the bottom there. And yeah, that is emptied out. I'm just going to empty out the side pockets as well, so you can see what I've got in there all together. One last thing I forgot to show you guys is in that front pocket there, I just keep my warning notices of warning stickers in there. So that just literally pops straight back in, and there you go. Okay, so that's pretty much empty, other than the odd bits and pieces that are in that pencil case pocket. And I just haven't taken up my U-gauge holes and the magnet clean spanner. But other than that, you can see how much kit you can actually get into there. And I've still not utilized every single pocket. There's a few pockets that are still empty. There's a few pockets which I could probably add extra stuff in. But that gives you an idea of what I keep and what I use on a day-to-day basis. All that fits comfortably into the Velocity. Doesn't weigh too much, so it's perfect for breakdowns where you want to be in and out, in and out. You don't want to be lugging around a heavy bag, which is it's gonna get tiring. If you're doing multiple breakdowns a day and you're lugging it in and out, you don't want something that's gonna be too heavy. So this is condensed. This is everything that I need. Other than, like I said, if there's specific jobs that I need particular tools for, then I'll go through my other tool bag and get out whatever I need for that job. But other than that, that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm now gonna put that all back together, and let me know if you've got any questions or leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.